We are back in the afternoon sessions at the Buzz. This is Simeon Papailias with Broker's Playbook, and I'm here with the top sponsor for the event, Mr. Kash Pashootan of EMBLEM Developments. Kash came here today and gave the morning keynote on how to incorporate pre-construction selling and opportunity into your portfolio as resale practitioners. He shared a lot of tips, tricks, and of course, access to his vast pipeline of over 4,000 units that can be used for you to sell to your clients as investment, end users, or any other way you see fit. Bottom line is, he brought a lot of value, and he's sitting with me now to share just a summary of that insight. Kash, welcome to Broker's Playbook Sessions.
Thank you, Simeon.
Kash, if you want to just give me kind of a summary of what today was like for you. There was over 350 agents here, 98% of them being of the resale realm. Something that you as a developer, you see them, they see your project after it's been sold, typically.
Yeah.
You gave a huge presentation where everybody had something serious to think about. What is the number one way, or what should be the number one way an agent, a resale residential agent, can work with your company, with your inventory to increase their production and bring value to their clients?
Yeah, it's been a great day so far, as you said, Simeon. Lots of agents. There's a lot of energy in the room. But it's interesting because resale and pre-construction, although at the surface seem like very similar, you're selling residential real estate that people are going to live in. Resale and pre-construction are very, very different in terms of as a business. And so I think today was really helpful for the resale agents to better understand, and it was very educational for them to understand what's the process with how you go about doing due diligence on a project. Once you've decided that that's a project you believe in and have buyers, how do you then communicate to them, and really sort of what's the process from A to Z? So I think it was really helpful, and I think really this is an opportunity at this stage where what the market is for resale agents that are looking at growing their revenue and adding pre-construction as a vertical into their business to start spending more time with developers like ourselves, so we get to know who they are and we understand what are some of their challenges. And our sales team, we have a great sales team at Emblem that can work with resale agents and help build a customized marketing strategy to get them started in the pre-construction. So I think a really big day for resale agents because number one, the opportunity is there, which in a very hot market it's not. And number two, not only is the opportunity there, but there's a path to them getting started, and that's with teams like yourselves and teams like our sales team to help them build a strategy and get going. You know, momentum is a powerful thing. So
Yes, and
how do we get the momentum going? The rest they'll be able to figure out.
now, one of the top strategies that I shared during both my presentation and then after in some of the Q&A is agents are saying, how do I tell my client about an opportunity? And the truth of the matter is, you pick up the phone and you call your existing clients, your clients that you serviced in 2017, 2018, 2019. 3, 4, 5, 6 years have passed since you transacted any one of your clients. In that case, they've built a significant amount of equity, and they actually don't need to be convinced as to the benefits of real estate. Meaning, anybody you sold a home to in 2017 is sitting on anywhere between $200,000 and $400,000 in equity since they bought that asset, that home, that condo. With that being said, this is not somebody that you need to convince on what happens with real estate. They know, they felt firsthand, they've seen their asset rise, and all you're asking them to do is to put their trust in you one more time and take a look at a project that makes sense, that has the fundamentals in place for them to create another win. Please share with me. We have an event coming up. Brokers Playbook Investor Series is kicking off next week on Thursday, right here in Burlington. We're featuring Design District. Design District is a multi-award winning condominium. It's actually the biggest residential development Hamilton has ever seen.
That's right.
Tell me, what can an agent expect at that event? What can their client expect at that event? from us, from an organizational perspective, this is a red carpet event,
Sure.
food, wine, etc. From an education portion, what can the client expect?
Look, I think before you can talk about anything, before you can sell anything, you need to really understand it. And knowledge is important for a variety of reasons. Number one, your reputation, and as a salesperson, or just any professional, there needs to be integrity behind what you say, and that starts with knowledge. And so, the fact that Brokers Playbook, your team, is providing a playbook and a way for them to understand the project is first and foremost. Because even if the buyer is ready to buy, as a professional, you have a responsibility to make sure you understand what it is that you're putting in front of your client.
A hundred
You
percent.
understand the good, the bad, the features, and everything has its good and its bad. And if you're not going to do it for any other reason, the at the very least, you should do it for your own brand, your own reputation, and integrity. So next week, you and our team are going to provide resale agents with a platform where they're going to learn. They're going to learn about the project. They're going to learn about the attributes, the future, the features. So that's first and foremost, because once they have that knowledge, not only can they speak from a position of credibility, but they're going to gain confidence. They're going to be able to speak about it with conviction because they understand it. They're not just making things up. So education and knowledge is key, and that's what we're going to accomplish next week as a starting point. Second, from there, they're going to learn how to position it with the client, right? Because when someone is buying an investment property that's already built, it has very different characteristics.
Yes.
So it's not just about the product and the location. Whether you're buying something in Hamilton or in Toronto or Mississauga, when it's pre-construction compared to already built, purpose built, very, very different attributes. Same location, but very different characteristics and attributes. So next week, you and our team are also going to help resale agents and all agents understand what are some of the important attributes of pre-construction that will be different than if they're buying a purpose-built building. So two very important concepts will be shared next week. And again, agents will leave more knowledgeable, more informed, and as a result, more valuable to their buyers.
I think it's going to be a great opportunity to many of our brothers and sisters out there to advance their year's business transactions and to advance their clients' portfolios. You're talking about different attributes. And just to give a sneak peek into that, when you're asking your client to lay down a very light deposit that's going to be working hard for them over the next 3-4 years without the requirement of getting a mortgage today and being exposed to this time of the economic cycle,
Yes.
I think that is one of the biggest and most crucial benefits for our industry to understand. And if positioned correctly, we can create hundreds of new deals and creating a ton of business and growth for our clients' portfolios as well.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, look, there's some uncertainty in the market, no doubt, in the economy and in various asset classes. With real estate, a big part of that uncertainty is the fact that rates are the highest that many have seen in their lifetime. And so, if it's higher interest rates that you're concerned with, the fact is pre-construction alleviates and really solves that problem compared to if you're buying something that's already purpose built. Because as you mentioned, you are putting down a deposit and you're not closing for 3, 4, 5, 6 years, depending on the project. And the bet that the investor is making is that when they're closing, interest rates will be lower than they are today. Well, if that's the view, the odds are rates will be lower. And certainly, when you think about pre construction 3, 4, 5 years ago, when we had the lowest interest rates ever in history, when you're buying and interest rates are the lowest they've been, the odds are when you close, they're going to be higher.
That's right.
And today we have the opposite situation, which many are viewing as a negative and uncertainty. But when you're buying pre construction, that's exactly the opportunity because we have the highest rates we've seen in the last several years. And so the odds are that 3, 4, 5, 6 years from now, when someone closes on their unit, rates will be lower. Now, that doesn't change the fact that you have to do your due diligence. You have to understand what's out there. Does it fit your situation? Is it the right building to buy in? And that's why real estate advisors like yourself exist, that they can show buyers various options, the pros and cons to each option, because the days of just buying anything and it goes up are behind us.
Those are way behind us, and I'm glad those days are behind us because they were truly putting the fundamentals of real estate aside, and anybody and everybody thought you can just throw money at the market and it's just the market owes you something. It's just going to return something
Yeah.
because it's you, and it's not true.
No.
One of the biggest articles I wrote, excuse me, one of the biggest articles I read was in Stories Online. Story spelled Storeys,
Yes.
residential investor focused read. And it was speaking to projects that, due to the economic environment right now, have either canceled or delayed.
Uh,
Toronto is the leader with just over 2,500 doors delayed. Hamilton was number two with just over 2,000 doors. So Hamilton is one of the hottest markets to invest in the country. The current economic, the the previous economic environment created so much activity in Hamilton because it's the next one up that everybody went in there. But the developers who are not as structured or as big or as well versed or as well capitalized already had to delay. This creates a massive and unique opportunity for those who are going to build in Hamilton to be 5 to 10 years ahead of the curve with inventory. And it provides a tremendous opportunity to the investor when we know the demand for rental is there and we're going to be the only product and the only game in town. We're going to be miles ahead of the competition with both appreciation, rental, which also rental rates keep rising at this way, we're going to be cash flowing incredibly.
Yeah.
And I do believe that the cash flow will return within the next 3 years based on mortgage rates slowly coming down. And of course, market prices doing what they've always done, which is perform at the capacity of the market.
Yeah.
And that's that annual return of between 4 and 6.5%.
The point you brought, it's a great point, especially with Hamilton, because we're talking about Hamilton with the design district, is that as projects are delayed or developers don't have the same financial covenant or security strength as Emblem does, it means less supply is coming on.
That's right.
At a time when we need supply more than ever. It's there's nothing more powerful than results. And as buyers look at potentially buying an Emblem unit, a suite in the Emblem building, a design district, it's really important to note that we launched One Jarvis sort of 3.5, 4 years ago, and that project's being delivered in the first quarter of this coming year on budget and on time. And that was during some of the hardest, most challenging conditions.
Yes, it was.
To build during COVID. You can only, for a lot of those 2 years, you can only have a third of the workforce, the labor on site. Despite all of that, Emblem overcame that and is delivering a beautiful building, a building that looks exactly like the pictures. It doesn't always look like the pictures. It looks just like the pictures, delivered on time, on budget this quarter. So as buyers look at buying at the design district, they can be assured and take comfort and that the Emblem brand is going to deliver as it has in the past. And what I would sort of just add to that is we have not even launched the third tower yet, Simeon. When we launched that tower, we were going to raise prices from what we have available right now. And although we haven't launched the third tower yet, we've already started construction. And this is really important because developers are sometimes having a difficult time starting construction, even with the pre-sales. So as buyers, there's uncertainty of, if I invest in this project and I put my deposit down, is the project going to get built? So with Design District, the fact that we have not even launched the third tower for pre-sales and we've started construction on a multi-$100 million project speaks to the financial strength and covenant and the capability of Emblem. And this is more important for buyers today than ever.
Well, I think you as a CEO, by delivering that message to the marketplace, I think it positions Emblem in a light and in a place that very few are.
Thank you.
And I believe you should be very proud of you and your firm for putting that kind of a statement and putting your money where your mouth is. And this is why I can speak comfortably about Emblem to my clients, to my colleagues, to my brothers and sisters that I go to war with every day. If we're going to push a product, it's going to be a product that we believe not only is going to be built, but is going to serve the interest of the client, because it's that client who's going to feed us for the next 15, 20 years.
Absolutely.
It's the client we have the duty to serve, because you serve them once and you do a good job, you're going to serve them 3 more times.
Absolutely.
You serve them once, and and you do a terrible job, you put them in the wrong project, trust me, the world will know.
Yeah,
So it's crucial more than ever to work with the right partners, and of course to do a great job.
absolutely.
Next week, to all my brothers and sisters in the business, Thursday, the 28th, we're going to be at Burlington Convention Center. Cash will be on site delivering the main piece, speaking to the project. This is a client safe event, meaning that if you have your top two, three people that you believe are ready to get into an investment, we're going to have exclusive incentives for both the client to win, and that's massive incentives. And of course, an incentive package for you to make sure that you're compensated fairly for your time, and your energy. Until then, we'll see you soon. Cash, thank you so much for
Pleasure.
being here, my brother. Appreciate it.